Just a lot of police officers coming in and out and moving around that house that we've been showing you all morning long. But one thing you just heard from Connecticut State Police in that press conference is that they still have a lot of questions. So that's what's going on right now. They are answering those questions here at 310 Redstone Hill Road. That is the focus of the investigation. You heard in that press conference Sergeant Christine Geltema with the Connecticut State Police saying that they do expect to be here pretty much for the majority of the day, just investigating, looking through all the evidence on scene. And as Tim had mentioned, as we've been telling you all morning long, they do have a protective barrier right in front of the home. We are assuming to shield us from whatever is over there. You can see their tent as well as police are working the scene at this point. A lot of attention, I will say, being focused on a garage that you cannot see from this angle that is attached to the home. That seems where police are focusing a lot of their attention, including a driveway that is right attached to that. But as Symphony just mentioned, as you guys have mentioned, just sort of a rundown here. This all came in as a domestic call first, just before 10:30 last night, and they were immediately met by a suspect on scene when they came here to 310 Redstone Hill Road. Officers were shot at. One of those officers was fatally shot on the scene that they were responding to. The other two officers were transported to area hospitals where one of them unfortunately passed away. The other still now dealing with serious injuries. And we do know, in terms of who was at the home at the time, we know at least two people were home, two brothers were told. One person was fatally shot by police officers and was pronounced dead at the home, and the other person, the other brother, was sent to the hospital. Now, an emotional day for police officers this morning. We just told you about Sergeant Christine Geltema. She's one of the people who was speaking at the press conference. She broke down at one point as well. Take a listen to her account of what happened.
When officers arrived, they were immediately met with a suspect outside of 310 Redstone Hill Road. Shots were fired, fatally wounding one officer on scene. Two other officers were transported to area hospitals. A second officer was pronounced deceased, and a third officer sustained serious injuries. The suspect was fatally shot and pronounced deceased at the scene. The suspect's brother was also shot and transported to an area hospital. His status at this time is unknown.
Good shot.
All right, coming back out here live now, as we mentioned, that Connecticut State Police still have a lot of unanswered questions at this point. That is why for the majority of the day here, this street is going to be blocked off at least until Emmett down the road, which is right directly in front of the home that we're talking about here on Redstone Hill Road. From here, we know that Connecticut State Police are working with the Inspector General's office, as well as with Bristol Police, as well as with the Chief State's Attorney's office to figure out first the criminal investigation of an officer being shot, and then if there was return of the fire there for officer-involved shootings, which is protocol here in the state of Connecticut. So still information that we need to figure out. Of course, we will update you as we learn more, but a lot of questions were answered just now in that press conference. We're live here in Bristol. Julia LeBlanc, Fox 61 News.